contest here at Empire State Wrestling at Salamanca Falling Leaves Festival is a singles match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first. From Buffalo, New York, he weighs in at 187 pounds. He is Red Death. He is Daniel Garcia.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen on PowerSlam.tv. Welcome to ESW here at the Falling Leaves Festival in beautiful Salamanca, New York. I'm Cody Jenny alongside the ESW Interstate Champion Anthony Gaines as we bring you the Falling Leaves Festival.
It's your pleasure to have me, Cody, per usual.
So the Red Death, Dan Garcia in the ring to get things started here at the Falling Leaves Festival.
Weighing in 165 pounds, he is from Medina, New York. He is a ton above the rest, Gavin Glass.
Gavin Glass here in his second match in ESW. Anthony, you were his first opponent. What do you got to say about Gavin Glass here coming back into ESW?
I mean, we all know Gavin Glass made his debut in Albany, New York, and apparently a very likable Gavin Glass here in Salamanca, New York. Now, what was the rendering effect? Was none of a kind Anthony Gaines retaining his title against a young upstart like Gavin Glass, but I would be lying if I say that it wasn't. It was a challenge, to say the absolute least. Gavin definitely has his wits about him. He knows what he's doing in there, and he knows who he is, and he's a lot more powerful than he might lead on to be. Definitely one of the tougher 145-pound men that I have ever faced.
An interesting matchup here between these two of the fastest rising stars coming out of the Rochester, Buffalo region.
Well, it was two of the most promising young talents maybe ever in the history of New York, so I am super invested into this match myself.
Dan Garcia backs him over into the corner to get things started here. And a hard kick to the face. And the Red Death right on him into a backbreaker. Goes for the quick cover, two, and no.
Super intense start by Daniel Garcia, my golly.
Dan Garcia is probably one of the most intense wrestlers that ESW has, and you can see him just kind of smiling as he drags Gavin Glass back into the center of the ring by his hair.
You know what, right next to Gavin Glass, also, I would like to say one of the most tan wrestlers in all of Buffalo, New York. Gavin looking a little pasty, but Red Death is on top of his tan game. He's on top of his striking game. The Red Death knows what he's doing.
Just two hard knees right to the chest. And a nice suplex there. And Garcia quick to cover. Drops the elbow. And drops another elbow. Going into the cover here. Two and no. Only two for Dan Garcia.
Red Death really knows how to get on top and stay on top. That's what I like about him. He's got this animalistic mentality about him. That's just killer. Absolutely killer. Gavin is going to have to do a lot more than just garner to a few 9-year-olds in the crowd to beat him.
So far, this match has been all Dan Garcia. As now, nice enziguri there by Gavin Glass to get things going. And Garcia kind of taken aback by it a little bit.
He might have caught him in the back of the neck. That's a dangerous area to play with. Gavin Glass coming up with a dive!
Glass diving out to Dan Garcia, and now Gavin getting a little bit of control in this match.
Gavin's got to maintain control there. He can't let the crowd being behind him distract him for 1 second. The second you give Daniel Garcia an air of opportunity, he's going to take it. And there it is.
Gavin Glass going up to the second rope and got caught right in the back of the knee, chopped down. And now you see Garcia taking his time to kind of interact here with this crowd.
Gavin Glass is really, really fast, and it's somebody like the Red Death Daniel Garcia. All he needs is 1 second of you keeping his back to him, and he's got your number. I hope Gavin can recover from that, because that was a pretty nasty chop block.
And now you've got Garcia just chopping at the chest. Goes for the cover, 2 and no. While he was working the knee, just able to throw some hard chops into the chest of Gavin Glass.
Very early in his career, I got a chance to wrestle the Red Death, Daniel Garcia, and it was one of the toughest matches I have ever been through. He's fast, he's got his wits about him. I would love to see Gavin Glass give him a run for his money, but right now it's not really looking too promising.
Certainly a unique submission here by the Red Death as he rakes him over into a pin, 2 and no. Gavin able to break out of it just in time. And Garcia, look at the intensity on Garcia's face as he slams Gavin down to the mat. Going back over to that knee that he's been working on ever since he was able to cut him down off that second rope move that Gavin was going for.
This reminds me a lot of my match with Gavin. Gavin's really got to do something. He's got to pull out something that's not in his arsenal. He's got to try something different here. There's somebody like Daniel Garcia that you never know what he's going to throw at you.
So Dan Garcia again drags him back into the center of the ring. Goes for a couple of shots. Gavin able to miss it. Get that high knee right up into the... And now going off the rope and cuts him back down again on that left leg. It's got to be feeling some pain here, 2 and no.
Referee Nolan on top of everything. I wish you would tell Daniel Garcia to lighten up. As a guy with now 2 bad knees, I know what it's like to be out there, and it's not fun. Maybe you should think about stopping the match or something, because the Red Death, Daniel Garcia, is not going to stop until he either pins or submits young Gavin Glass.
And now Dan Garcia tried to expose that knee, moving down the knee pad. He's able to do so, and now going back and lifts that knee up and drives it right into the mat. And Gavin,
I don't like Gavin Glass's chances right now, man. He's showing a lot of vulnerability, and no matter how hot this crowd is for a cut above the rest, Gavin Glass, I just don't see it happening, man.
Gavin really hasn't had too much offense in this match, and Garcia even had time to mock the injury and continues to work on that left knee. And Garcia off the rope into it, and a drop kick right directly to the knee. Drags it back into the, tries almost to the center of the ring, goes for the cover, 2 and no. Another cover, 2 again, going for a 3rd time here, and able to break out of it. Garcia lifts him up. And power slams him right down to the mat. 2 and no, and right into a submission.
Transition right into an Achilles hold. My God, Daniel Garcia is so smart at technical wrestling.
Just wrapping those legs, not giving Garcia an opportunity, right into the figure 4. Tries to chop his way out of it. Just delivering shot after shot to the chest of Garcia, but he's got that submission in deep.
I gotta say this, even though when it's not looking promising, when times are looking at its darkest for Gavin Glass, he does have an inch of fight left in him no matter what, and I gotta respect that about him.
But now look at this from Dan Garcia just standing on the back of Gavin in complete control of this match.
You don't want to turn your back to Daniel Garcia, but you really don't want to turn your back to any opponent. As long as I've been doing this, there's somebody like Gavin Glass that could surprise you real quick with a kick. Anything, put you down. You really got to stay on top of your opponent. I feel like he's getting a little cocky here, Daniel.
And Garcia drives the head of Glass into the turnbuckle, works on him in the corner. Coming in here, Gavin able to battle out of the corner, off the rope, in for a shot right to the head, and another. Gavin trying to battle his way back into this match here. Gets Garcia up on the top, kicks the back of the knee, goes for a code breaker. But again, with how much Dan Garcia's worked on the knees of Gavin, he's not able to finish through with it.
It's very hard to fight through knee pain. I feel where Gavin is right now, but he has got to take advantage. When you have Daniel Garcia down like this, he's tuning up the man. He shouldn't be letting him get up.
And Gavin looking to try to finish off Dan Garcia here. But again, could it be a mistake letting Dan get back to his feet? Going for the super kick. Instead chops the knee. Takes a knee to the top of the head. This is his opportunity. 2. Goes for the 2. No! 2 and 3/4, and Gavin can't believe it. Was able to drive that knee right to the temple of Dan Garcia. And Garcia knocked for a loop, but only 2. Gavin Glass trying to get this crowd behind him.
He's got to do something. Daniel Garcia seems a little too resilient, and there it is, just a disgusting forearm. Gavin Glass is going to give it back to him, but I don't know that Gavin's quite the pure striker that Daniel Garcia is. I, for one, am really enjoying this matchup right now. A great way to start off the Fallen League Festival.
Back and forth with shots. What a chop! But look at Dan Garcia just brushing it off. Back and forth we go with shots. Nobody's really gotten the upper hand, but here comes Gavin. Another hard shot. Kind of rocks Dan Garcia a little bit here. And again, Garcia back to that injured knee.
I would say what a dastardly move, what I applaud.
So now Garcia gets Gavin over in the corner and just delivering strike after strike to Gavin Glass. Gets out of the count. And now Garcia. The crowd's getting behind Garcia here as he goes in. Gavin able to block it away. Gavin battles out, goes for the DDT, gets it!
Right on his head for the 1, 2,
and no!
Almost enough to put him away. That was the closest Gavin had him to the mat.
Just a back and forth match so far between these two young superstars. And now Gavin able to get this crowd behind him here in Salamanca.
Was it the right move to do? He has Daniel Garcia right where he wants him. Should he really have been pandering to a Salamanca crowd, or should he have gone for another finishing maneuver?
Gets Garcia up on his shoulders. Garcia able to reverse it. Goes in for a cover. Garcia able to battle out of it.
Dangerously close to the ropes, but Daniel Garcia is so good at what he does, dragging him away.
And here we go, back into the submission, wrenching those knees again.
Deep hold too, Cody.
Right on top of it, looking for the submission. And Gavin just able to get to the rope. But look at that. Delivering shot after shot to the side of the leg is Garcia during the 4 count and still stomping on that knee.
I applaud him.
Garcia's really feeling it now. The stalking his prey here. As now he goes to whip him into the corner. Gavin able to reverse, leaps over him. And now Gavin back to it again, but goes right into it.
It's the rear naked choke,
Right into the rear naked choke. Right in the center of the ring. Gavin's got absolutely nowhere to go. Looks like he's starting to fade here a little bit.
After snap, he's gonna pass out.
Garcia's got the hold in strong.
I don't see an ounce of light left in Gavin Glass.
Hand falls on the mat once, twice. And Gavin able to battle out of it here. Reverses into a pin, 2 and no. Garcia able to battle out of it. Hard drop kick. Hit his head right off the back of the turnbuckle.
Daniel Garcia going for his signature. Locks it in the sharpshooter right here in Salamanca. Center of the ring.
And Garcia's got it in deep.
That's deep.
Look at how far back Garcia's gone. And there's the submission. And the Red Death gets the victory.
Can't help but applaud that. What a strong way to start off the Fallen Leaves Festival here in Salamanca, New York, and I think you have to agree.
Oh, absolutely. Gavin gave it everything he had in his second outing here at ESW, but just not enough to break out and be able to defeat the Red Death. Dan Garcia, who gets a huge victory going into his match next week into a fatal 4-way that's qualifier for the Elio DiPaolo Cup.
Easily the biggest opportunity Red Death Daniel Garcia has in front of him. The Elio DiPaolo Cup is prestigious, leads to a world title opportunity, and he can keep the streak going of being the fastest upstart in ESW history if he could secure that victory.
So the Red Death gets a victory, but a good job there by Gavin Glass, who is still yet to get a victory here in ESW.